Fog drifts slowly across a dark forest. Text appears. In the 1750s, an advancing glacier destroyed Tlingit villages in what later became Glacier Bay National Park. The clans resettled in Huna but longed for their ancestral homeland. As the glacier receded, they returned seasonally to fish, hunt, and harvest. In 1925, the area became a national monument, restricting further resettlement. A wooden building on a rocky shoreline features a large design of an eagle and a raven facing each other. A totem stands on each side.
There's no comparison to being in Glacier Bay. Our elders knew the value of being on the land.
I never ever thought that I would ever see the day in my lifetime that Tlingits could return to the homeland.
And that was the wishes of the elders, is to have a presence, physical presence back in Glacier Bay.
A title appears on water reflecting a docked boat, a sanctuary for the future, the Huna Ancestors' House in Glacier Bay. A dock packed with boats extends from a small town full of houses with colorful rooftops in Alaska's southeast. Huna, Alaska, population 788. Gordon, a spectacled man, chisels a horizontal tree trunk. The artist carves a totem. Totem poles decorate the town. A canoeist uses a hand-carved paddle marked with red and black patterns. A banner hung on a warehouse reads Tribal House Carving Project, Glacier Bay National Park / Huna Indian Association. Inside, Herb, a long-haired man, carves a paddle near totems. Owen, a man with a salt and pepper goatee, laughs and Herb grins. The white-haired Gordon instructs a teenage carver.
That's the right idea. Good.
The boy shapes a carving with an adze, a hatchet-like tool.
It's not what you do, it's exactly how you do it.
Okay. We can take this off.
Gordon rubs the smooth surface of an in-process totem pole. Herb hammers the butt of a chisel, stripping away wood from the area. Owen digs out a section marked with pencil.
In Huna, I would go down to the carving shed, and Gordy would tell us about what he was doing, and because every time I went in, there was something different.
I would drop in. I saw it coming together a board at a time, basically.
The three men carry a board together. Gordon draws guidelines on a loam.
I mean, this was living as a tree. Now we're bringing it back to life as a totem pole. It all gets tapered down.
Text appears. In the early 1990s, Glacier
down
Bay
to that
National
level.
Park and the Huna Indian Association began collaborative efforts to honor the Huna Tlingit connection to their ancestral homeland. The three craftsmen carved the trunk. Gordon references a scale diagram.
It was a collaboration between the clans. We had to get the elders from the clans to talk about what stories could be told, what crests should be on, in which order, where everything should be located.
Our elders are so important to us. They are our culture bearers, the wisdom, the knowledge, the oral histories, our food practices, our way of life.
An older man puts puffs of eagle down feathers on a newly felled tree.
Having elders come in and talk with us, just to share with us, highlight them. My days.
We got into the carving and we said, let's make our own tools. Let's keep everything in a traditional way because we're creating this traditional tribal house like our ancestors.
Using adze, it's a wonderful tool to have for taking more wood off a lot quicker, or we use it to smoothen out our carvings.
Wood chips fall.
As I used to watch my grandfather carve with all the tools that we used.
The workers take apart sections of a decorated wooden wall panel twice as tall as a man. Each
We should be able to go
piece
ahead all the way
features black and
around.
red artwork.
Okay. We've been working on this since the day after Thanksgiving 2010, a little over 5.5 years. It's kind of a mixed feeling. You know, it's great to send it home, but it's going to be the last time it's in Huna. I guess this is what parents feel like when they send them off.
They pack the sections in a moving truck alongside two totem poles.
All the beautiful work, that's 5 years of many, many hours of working, carving those house posts, those totem poles, the wall panel that's going into our tribal house.
They coat each piece with bubble wrap and saran wrap before loading it. A mechanized loading ramp lowers to a ship's cargo area. The moving truck backs up toward it. The three carvers lean on the top deck's railing. The boat disembarks. A map of Glacier Bay National Park and Preserve charts the path between Huna and Bartlett Cove.
We're going back home to Glacier Bay.
A bald eagle soars.
It's the ancestral homeland. It's where we came from. It's where every story of our beginning starts.
A black bear trods a green meadow. An eagle swoops. A mountain goat climbs. Salmon swim in shallow water. Snow-covered mountains tower.
So this place is a very, very powerful part of our culture.
You honor the trees, you honor the land.
That's why they refer to us as stewards of our land.
Thick moss hangs from tree branches. A wide rainbow plunges into a coastal evergreen forest. The truck backs up. A dozen people strain to unload a single totem pole. Inside the tribal house, the artists push the totem pole on dollies, then raise it with a pulley.
Since I started, I don't think these hands rested.
Owen holds the totem pole steady while the pulley raises it upright. Herb pulls links of chain.
They gave us these stories from the heart.
Oh, yeah, look at that.
You know, so yeah, this has a really, really a lot of meaning coming from them and passed it on to the Huna people.
Owen disconnects the pulley.
Top's got to go over. It's not, it can't. There you go. See?
Yeah.
Walk it.
Okay, now it's walking. I really didn't want to make a mistake on any of this.
Natives and Park Service employees work together.
I have to do my best.
The team slides the pole's concave top flush with a cylindrical overhead support beam.
I never thought I'd be doing something like this. To see it being put up and to see all the carvings of it, it's awesome.
Outside, Gordon leans a ladder against the house. Standing on it, he details the giant eagle with a tiny paintbrush. Inside, Owen and Herb reassemble sections of the large wooden carved wall panel which mirrors the room's framework. Having placed the final piece, Herb smiles to himself. A fire pit burns at the center of carefully arranged wooden benches. The artists stand back and admire their work.
Wow. Finally.
Finally.
Sheesh.
They shake hands.
Sheesh.
Sunlit haze shrouds a mountain beyond dark tree lines. A small motorboat bobs gently on the rippling bay. The tribal house stands by the water. An oval door opens in the torso of a man painted between the two birds. Beyond it, the fire pit glows in the house.
I bawled my eyes out. I cried like a baby when I walked in there the first time. It took my breath away.
Depictions of animals, people, and land features cover the wall panel and the totem poles.
These are not carved gods that's often been misrepresented about totem poles. These are chapter titles to oral history.
Red, black, and blue paint accents each totem's features.
The interior screen is a geographical representation of where the different clans have a history.
At the center of the interior mural, an oval door opens in the torso of a young woman with long hair, silver eyes, and a conical hat.
We often use the term stories. I would love to get myself to train to say oral history, not stories.
It's actually based on things that have happened.
We didn't have paper, we didn't have books, we didn't write anything down. The totem poles can be looked at as a history book.
It wasn't art. It was a way of telling our stories.
But it isn't something that we would put in a museum and then sit around with an ooh and ah over it. It doesn't work like that at all.
And the tribal house itself has a lot of hidden stories. Our tribal citizens will recognize and know, but won't necessarily be shared elsewhere.
At dawn, native people row two large black and red canoes. Some wear woven cedar bark hats like the one depicted on the interior screen. A large crowd in ceremonial regalia as well as modern clothing gathers around the shoreline where a fire burns. Next appears Dedication Ceremonies, August 2016. The canoes approach from mist obscuring the horizon and land on the muddy shoreline.
The house, meets all the government specifications as a Western construct, but then it's clad in meaning by the tribe.
The paddlers carry the canoes.
In the carvings and in the ceremonies that happened afterwards, that's what's given it life.
The process of dedicating is much different than the ribbon cutting of a political world.
A national park official addresses the crowd.
Clan houses have been built for generations. National parks have been established by the hundreds. Many cultural treasures have been preserved. But never has a tribe cooperated with the National Park Service to build an anchor for a tribe in their homeland.
People enter the house single file. A boy paints a red line on a wall.
When we dedicated the tribal house, we named the ancestors into it. When we do this, we give it a spirit. It's a sacred place.
I could feel my ancestors around me.
We all had that same feeling, we just couldn't describe it.
It was very emotional.
We feel as though that house is no longer just a structure. It's become one of our grandparents, all of our grandparents, and that's the way we treat it.
To us, this building is a sanctuary.
The crowd dances in a circle. Later, the fire pit burns in the empty building.
There are 4 house posts in here. Each one represents clan and the clan history and the clan spirits.
Chukiniri, Kagwantan, Hushkitan, Daktaintan, they're there.
The clan is the most important unit of organization. You have houses, you have the tribe, you have moieties, but the clan is important, and the clans carry crests, and you identify with that. It's who you are.
People wear wooden hats topped with different animals.
Every story is precious to a clan. It's a story that belongs to that clan.
It was a privilege to sit with the elders to represent what they felt was important to be transmitted to the future generation.
Gordon sits at a workbench before a diagram of the house's exterior mural. The finished piece is seen from the water.
The front of a clan house is very important because it's meant to be seen from the water.
When another tribal person comes in with a canoe, he sees the design and he knows which clan owns the house.
Well, typically the front of a house would only have one clan to show who owns the house. But this represents the 4 main clans of Huna.
Our front is a little more inclusive. It's based on balance, which is why you can see the raven on the left and the eagle on the right, because they make up the whole of our society. They're called moieties.
The raven that you see, he's holding a box, and that is the box of knowledge.
It's how Raven bestowed knowledge on the earth. And it's open for our stories to be told, or our songs to be sung, the histories, our traditions.
Everything that's important to us is in this box of knowledge for current generations and also for the future.
A man removes deer from a smokehouse.
This tribal house, we're opening the box of knowledge again.
And you come over to the eagle, and the eagle is holding on to the tana, which represents the wealth and prosperity of the Huna Tlingit. Many people have seen the eagle swoop down and catch a fish, and it's too heavy to fly up. And so the eagle will swim to shore, hanging on to that fish and won't give up.
This tribal house is doing, it's grabbing onto our culture. It's not gonna let go.
Tlingit play drums and wear colorful robes. Others paddle canoes as long as orcas. They chant and dance in the gymnasium. A child bangs a deerskin drum. A girl leaps from a dock and splashes into the water. A group of children marches along a dirt road, chanting and playing drums. One of the canoes sports a red sail.
Going back there,
It's so much greater than words can describe. To know that you're in the land of where your grandparents were and where your ancestors were at once before.
In the forest, thick moss coats horizontal branches. In the tribal house, boys draped with traditional robes dance.
The tribal house gives us an opportunity to connect those youth back to Glacier Bay, to know why they're telling stories, where the oral history comes from.
It's pretty special. See yourself in that space, knowing that this is where generations, countless generations, resided before you.
The view swoops around the empty house. Clockwise from northwest, each of 4 totem poles depicts a long-haired man, an octopus ensnaring a man, a noble bird, and a fish with sharp teeth.
To other people, it might be just a building. To me, it's our future. It's home. It's every story that we've ever heard in our youth about our culture and the different things we've had to endure. It's confirmation that these values will continue.
Natives gather on the shore.
What we're doing with this is passing on every bit of piece of it to the younger generation. It's really cool that we can carry on this tradition like our ancestors.
People in traditional dress hug. Kids wear colorful garb lined with mother-of-pearl buttons. 2 native park rangers stand before the house, discussing the frontal mural. In the tribal house, a native woman lectures 2 elderly white people. Later, natives dance in the packed house. Sun shines on its colorful facade. Fade to black. Text appears. Huna Shuka Hit, roughly translated as Huna Ancestors House, memorializes ancestral clan houses that once lined the shores of Glacier Bay homeland. An elderly veteran taps his foot and watches the dance from a folding chair. Text appears. It represents many years of collaboration between the National Park Service and the Huna Indian Association, the federally recognized tribal government of the Huna Tlingit clans. Dancers spin in circles. An elder applauds a dancing child. Text appears. In addition to serving as a sacred place for tribal ceremonies and gatherings, the tribal house also provides opportunities for sharing the traditions, stories, and history of the Huna Tlingit with visitors from around the world. A credit slide includes the 3 tribal house carvers, Gordon Greenwald, Owen James, and Herb Sheekley Sr. A Tlingit name and clan accompanies each. The credits also include the names of 20 more people featured in the film, including their Tlingit name and clan. The lively communal dance continues in the tribal house. Another credit slide appears, a National Park Service production. Director, writer, producer, Sarah Gulick. Director of photography and editor, David Ehrenberg. Executive producers, Chuck Dunkerley and Mary Beth Moss. Additional credits include technical advisors, advisory support from Huna Indian Association, and Park Service employees. Audio description created by Wadjet and narrated by John Gray. Logos: National Park Service. Huna Shuka Hit, Huna Tribal House. Huna Indian Association, since 1939.